Hi y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Shirley. I also go by Legal Mija on TikTok. The number of subscribers is, in terms of the number of subscribers, I am so blessed that each and every one of you follow me. I grew on TikTok just documenting my journey as a first-year law student. Now I'm in my third year, so to continue to be growing and on this platform now means a lot. Anyways, we're gonna touch on the scary topic of the law school application process.
Also, disclaimer, I'm only talking about my experience as someone who applied to law school in 2020. So things might have changed, so don't rely solely on this video. Just use this as a supplement, okay? Please.
If you saw my law school journey video already, you would know that it took me 3 years to take the LSAT, meaning that I took a gap. I took 3 years and a half really of gap years between college and law school. Damn, I don't have any more water. My throat's gonna be hurting. I did not apply to law school at all until I had the LSAT score that I wanted, and I only took the LSAT once. So throughout those 3 years, I waited for the opportunity once I reached like a 150 range of LSAT score to apply, and that's what I did. So in 2020, the middle of the pandemic, I was literally registered to take the LSAT so I could apply in 2020 and then enroll in 2021. If you don't know how the law school application process works, you have to apply basically the year before you want to enroll. And so the pandemic happened, the panini happened, and I was the first class, cohort, or whatever applicants who took the LSAT Flex. If you don't know about the LSAT Flex, that's a whole nother thing. But basically the LSAT was remote for us. It was only 3 sections, and taking the LSAT was so nerve-wracking. I was literally shaking taking that exam. My computer crashed. I had to use another computer. It was the worst experience ever. Anyways, that was my LSAT process. I took it, I believe, in April of that was April, I believe. So that was 2020. And I wanted to maximize my chances of getting into law school. So I decided that I would do whatever to apply early. So I got the LSAT score. I got a 153, and that was actually the medium score for the school that I wanted to get into. That was fine by me. I was like, ya tengo el LSAT, ya estamos listos. Because I know for most schools, the application window opens sometime in September or October. So I told myself, I'm gonna work through this. I am going to make sure everything is done and ready for before literally the first day it opens for most schools. And I did. And I was also very strategic because I had taken 3 years and a half of gap years. I was very strategic to remain in contact with my professors because some law schools prefer professors over employers. Some law schools prefer employers over professors, depending on how many years you're out. So with letters of recommendation, I stayed in contact with my professors from undergrad. And when it was time to ask them, I told them I needed a letter with I think I told them probably in July. So that was already set. And I told them I needed it by September. I reached out to them, and I reached out to one employer, I believe. So I had 3 letters of recommendation. So letter of recommendations done, LSAT done, unofficial, official transcripts that you have to get from your college. That was pretty quick. I just had to order it, and that's it. I also, in high school, I took 1 college class for credit, so I had to get a transcript for that. Also, that costs money. Everything is so expensive. Oh my gosh, we'll get into that later. So we got the LSAT, we got the letters of recommendation, we got the unofficial transcripts. The resume, for me, and then the personal statement was the most daunting, because first with the resume, you have to list like every volunteer experience, you have to list every internship, every job you had. So that took a while for me to like really backtrack and think about the dates that happened for this internship, the dates that happened for this volunteer experience. It was a lot, and you had to like I also had to make sure that the spelling was correct, that, you know, this was bolded. My resume was, I think, I don't know how long my resume was, but it was pretty long. And they want you, well, at least in my experience, they wanted you to really go in depth with all the things that you have done before law school, post high school, I believe. Whew. Now the personal statement. So the personal statement, I feel like, apart from your stats, your GPA, and your LSAT score, is probably one of the most important pieces that you could really submit for your law school application process, because I really do feel like you could sell yourself through your personal statement. I know that sounds so bad, like selling yourself, like, you know, other people have talked about like selling your trauma, especially as people who, you know, we don't have lawyers in our families, or, you know, we're the first to go to graduate school, and other people who are the first to go to college. This is where you basically plead, no, mentira. This is where you essentially show your writing capabilities, as well as a story that really highlights why you should go to law school, you should go to their law school, why they need someone like you, and also highlighting just your passions for the law. So I think for me, I was very strategic because I'm already a very critical writer, and I think that's what makes me a great writer. I've learned that through law school. But I needed people to help me with this. So I reached out to my undergrad pre-law advisor, and I didn't pay him anything. Like, this is just part of their alumni services. Like, I was able to reach out to him, and he helped me through it. We had multiple Zoom calls together. I sent him drafts. This took, like, I'm not joking, like 2 or 3 months of revision, to the point where I was like, okay, I'm getting really tired of this. Like, first it was the LSAT, and now is this. Like, I'm burnt out. But he essentially helped me, and then after I felt comfortable having a finalized draft, I sent it to people around. Like, I sent it to my sister, I sent it to my coworker. I needed people's feedback, and I took their feedback and I edited some more, and then also I gave my advisor my resume just to make sure that the formatting was fine and stuff. So that's what I did. So even after the LSAT, I was still working extremely hard to make sure everything was. So by October, I believe, that's when I submitted all my applications. And my personal statement, and I only did a personal statement. I know some people do a diversity statement, but for me, my personal statement was based on my drive to be an immigration attorney because of my experiences. And I felt like I didn't need a diversity statement because I had already highlighted like who I am and my diverse background through my personal statement. So once that was done, personal statement, references, my official transcripts, LSAT score, all of that was done and ready to go. I submitted it, and it was a waiting game. The worst waiting period of my life. I'm so that ass because, you know, and for transparency, I had a high GPA. I had a 3.8 something, 86, I believe, and my LSAT was a 153. I felt like I was in the medium for the median people that were being accepted to my school, that the school that I'm currently in. And I was like, okay, I should get accepted, but I'm not sure when that's gonna happen. And I applied early, so like I was waiting October, November, December, and honestamente I just felt like, yo, why is it taking so long? Like, at least tell me no. And I'm gonna look right now when was the first decision I received, because it was really the worst. I'm telling you, it was the worst time waiting for a response. Let's see, do I have? Yes, I have even a folder still in my Gmail called law school applications. I still remember my first acceptance was December 10th, 2020, and I cried because I told myself, this wasn't my first choice, but I told myself I'm going to law school, like, period. because I had received my first acceptance. And then my second acceptance was the 18th, December 18th, 2020. My third acceptance was January 5th, 2021. And my acceptance to my dream law school was January 8th, 2021. I believe in my TikTok still, there's a video of me reacting to all my acceptances, and I just could remember crying to my mom and just being where I'm at now. Like, I'm in my third and final year of law school. Like, I've made it this far. It still gets me emotional because I'm like, damn, it really took so much. It took me over 3 years to take the LSAT. It took me 3 years to study for the LSAT. Then it took me a couple months, like, hammering down my resume, my personal statement, and then to now just be here. I'm really blessed. And if I share my stories, because I want people to be inspired and to not give up, because this process is a lot and it's expensive. Let me tell you, I don't know how much money I spend, but through LSAT prep, through the fees to apply, then there's fees to apply to every school. Just that depends as well on the school. And it was the reason why I didn't apply to actually one other school in the city, because they had a $60 application fee and they didn't want to waive it for me. I don't know. I think maybe, honestly, total $3,000 total, but I'm not sure. It's an estimate. I can't verify how much money, but yeah, that's what I did. I didn't pay no consulting person. I didn't pay anyone besides literally just to apply, like the required fees to apply. That's all I paid for, and my LSAT prep course. But yeah, I know there's people who try to sell, consulting or, someone to help you with the application process. But first, go to your college pre-law advising department and see if that's accessible to you. So that's it. I mean, I don't know if there's any more questions. And the way I was able to cover the fees and expenses of this long journey is because I worked as a full-time paralegal. And my job was unionized. The last job I had before law school was unionized, so I had really good salary and benefits. So I really took advantage of that. So anyways, I love y'all. Let me know any next video ideas.